I don't think that they've even told you this yet. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to your Sagittarius Cross Watchers Only reading. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and what's not, or whatever. If you're not familiar with what my Cross Watcher Only readings are, they're readings that I do for a person who is dating or dealing with or in an entanglement or whatever it is you guys are calling it these days with a Sagittarius person, and you'd like to get some insight to help you get some clarity on y'all whole little situation and whatnot or whatever. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into these cards to see what is going on between you and your Sagittarius person for November 15th through December 15th. I really should turn off that speaker, just in case I get people at my door, which I do in every reading. Anywho, central energy for you, my cross watcher, we have the Two of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Star in the reverse, and that, of course, is Aquarius energy. So, cross watcher, what it's looking like for you guys is coming into the middle of November. You guys are kind of, the first inclination I want to say is kind of at a stalemate with your Sagittarius person, but it's really not knowing how to move forward. It's feeling as if you're between a rock and a hard place. And it's wanting to gain clarity on the situation. Looking at the Seven of Pentacles here, and this would more or less be the beginning part of November. I feel with this connection with this person, you've been kind of waiting for things to change. I feel a lot of the reason why you guys are kind of in a position of should I stay, should I go, is because you've invested so much into this connection with this person for so long, more or less waiting for things to kind of turn around with this person, wanting to be on better footing with them, if you will. But I feel up until this point, it has not quite happened yet. If I were to move a little bit forward here, looking at the Star in the reverse, it's more or less we're speaking to a sense of disappointment, and kind of realizing with this person that things aren't going to change. And I'm saying that just within the confines of this month that we're reading for. It's like, I feel you guys have been waiting for a sign that things are going to change. And it's more or less in the back of your mind that you need to or want to make a decision in reference to this because you're kind of getting tired, to be quite honest. But I feel already kind of projected into the future. And the future would literally be speaking into the 15th of December. It's almost as if you guys kind of discern that nothing is really going to change. I can let you know specifically by the end of November, like 30th, I feel it's gonna be very clear to you what you're kind of feeling now. So let me make this make sense. It's almost like with this choice you guys have to make, it's more or less choosing between your heart's desire, which is to be with this person that you care about a great deal, or your logic, which is saying, okay, we've been, dating for however long it's been. I've tried everything and their behavior really hasn't changed up to this point, right? So like I always say, past behavior is the best predictor for future behavior. And I feel you guys are just kind of grappling with all of this. So your sense, because I feel all of this is kind of just conjecture inside of you still. So it's knowing you have to make the decision to either stay trying to work it out or move forward. But it's still kind of, how do I want to say it? It's almost like it's in the back of your mind. It's like, it's kind of something that's looming around where you're going to have to deal with it, but it hasn't really come to the fore quite yet. And in accordance with that, in a sense that their behavior really isn't going to change as of now. And I feel specifically what type of behavior we're talking about, it feels very much like emotional unavailability here. It's the person that you want them to be or that you would desire to be with is vastly different than what this person has showed you up to this point, you know, because this person just feels very touch and go, and they're not, you know, it's almost like they suck your emotions dry more than they ever reciprocate emotions. I could say it feels like a very one-sided connection where you're investing a lot, but you're not really getting that reciprocated to you. But I say all of that to say that this is more or less something that you're weighing within yourself, but it's kind of like deep down inside, you know, you have to make this choice, you know, or you're projecting that their behavior may not change because it hasn't up to this point. I just feel you guys aren't quite ready to accept that just yet. However, I feel by the end of this month, it's going to be very clear, and that's when it's going to come to the fore, where it's going to be very consciously aware to you that you're going to have to make a decision in reference to this connection. Now, for your Sagittarius person, we have the Ace of Wands, we have the Two of Wands, and we have the Wheel of Fortune. Whoa. And that's Jupiter energy. So this is bringing us to where this reading's vibration ends, which is the 15th of December. And I feel with this, if I were to just go with my first inclination, what I'm seeing with this, it's more or less with your Sag person, they're in a similar position coming into the middle of November, where they're more or less aware that something is going to shift. So it's like both of you being consciously aware that it's either y'all are going to stay the way that things have been up to this point, or it's moving forward. And if I were to say where this vibration is specifically talking about with you guys, past influence, we're talking specifically about the end of October. So this is almost like, how can I say this? It's almost like revisiting something. So it's like at the end of October, the end of October is going to look a lot like the end of November is going to look. Let me say it that way. Because I feel that you coming to the clear realization that that your needs were not being met, you coming to that that clear realization that your needs were not being met and that something needed to change. I feel like that became very, very clear to you at the end of October, right? Like that last week of October. And I feel that's more or less what instigated this vibe. And with your Sagittarius person, which is a tad bit concerning for me here, I would have to say what this would look like to me, and this is really going to isolate a vast deal of people because this makes it very specific. I would say that the last week of October, your Sagittarius person, and I always tell you guys, this may be flip-flop energy, okay? So get in where you fit in. But I feel this last week of October, your Sagittarius person has already made their decision of what they're going to do. And what it's looking like is them moving forward. So it's kind of like the energy I'm seeing for the cross watchers is more or less like lagging behind, right? Because you guys are still in this place of making a decision. Should I stay or should I go? But with the Sagittarius energy, it's looking like they already made the decision. It's like they were in the same place the last week of October that you're in now. But coming into the middle of November, and this stretching all the way to the end of November, it's like their decision is already made. So how they're going into December, they've already made their decision. And it's looking like them leaving this situation behind. However, the other way that we could see this, if you and this person or like together, like y'all living together or like married or something like that, this would more, and only in that situation, like if you are in a committed relationship, a serious relationship with titles and all of that stuff, all y'all families know each other and things, the only way I would see this differently would be that your Sagittarius person came to the realization that they were exhibiting and partaking in a whole lot of less than stellar behavior that was very one-sided, that was keeping your relationship from progressing and moving forward. And now they've elected to turn over a new leaf in the partnership and to start an entirely new cycle, in so many words. So it's them wanting to completely change how they've been approaching this relationship. So realizing how they've been holding it back. And the cross watcher person, more or less, would be reluctant to choose to give this person another chance because they've been disappointed so many times in the past. And it's the thought of, and so this is like the same energy, but it's almost like progressed. That's so interesting. But the cross watcher person would be reluctant to move forward with this person and give them another chance just because there's so much bad blood between you, in so many words. So what I mean by this is, what I mean by this being a situation where it's like progressed is I feel it's two different energies. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting a phone call and it keeps moving my thing. But anywho, what I really feel here is it's two different groups of people, but it's like the cross watchers who are watching this, it's two different groups of people that are dealing with Sagittarius that are in different points of the relationship, but it's the same vibration. So there's one group of cross watchers that's lagging behind where this other group is. So it's like my first group of cross watchers that I was talking about before is more or less them needing to make a decision whether to stay or go in this situation, but the other group has been there already some time ago. And now the Sagittarius person is coming back around, right? But it's like you've been there, done that already made the decision to move forward. And now they're coming back talking about, oh, I realized what I did wrong. And you guys are trying to decide if you should give this person another chance. But you're kind of like, I mean, it's been like this all this time. How do I know that you're different, you know? And for my other group, it's more or less dealing with a Sagittarius person where this is their first time where you guys are kind of going your separate ways, in so many words. But I feel with them, it's almost like perceptively they're desiring a new beginning, because I feel the connection between the cross watcher and the Sag person, it's just like how the cross watcher feels it's stagnant and you're waiting for this person to change. It's almost like this Sagittarius person's perspective of this is that it's holding them back and they want things in their life to change. But I feel that's interesting because it's almost like a lesson to be learned in a sense, because the cross watcher person isn't choosing themselves. It's more or less their needs aren't being met. I'm saying your needs aren't being met, but you're still waiting for things to change and you're still on the fence on if you should stay or go, even though what you desire in a partner, it's not what the Sag person has been giving you up to this point. However, on the other side, the Sag person feels like, oh, you know, this situation isn't what it is that I want it to be. So there's all kinds of hold on, guys, 1 second. So sorry, guys. My son was asking me to FaceTime him about jeans. I apologize, but anywho, this Sagittarius person, where I feel like this is a lesson for my cross watcher to learn here in reference to how partnerships work. The moment that this person felt like this situation wasn't serving their highest good, or they felt it was holding them back, or it was too much pressure, they instantly decided to move forward into a new cycle for themselves, to go in the direction of what they feel is in their best interest. And that sucks You know what I'm saying? Because, I understand with my cross watcher what you guys' intention is, because it's like you care about the person. It's like you're not fulfilling my needs, but I want to hope and believe that you will. But I feel that this is a valuable lesson for my cross watcher to learn, in the sense of it's not fair to yourself to sacrifice what you want in hopes that someone changes, when you're clearly dealing with someone who wouldn't do the same. It's like when they realize they're not getting what they want, or they feel like this isn't what it is that they want to chart a whole new path. But I feel the reflection question that my cross watcher would have to ask themselves is, why don't you do that? Why is it that what you want and what you desire isn't as important to you? You know what I mean? Why are you willing to go without something that you truly want, or what you feel that you deserve, and you're willing to go without that, hoping that a person changes, as opposed to saying, this isn't what I want, I don't like how you treat me, now I'm going to go in the direction of what it is that I want, and something that's more fulfilling for me. You know what I mean? And if I were to say, in the bigger picture of things, what this connection or this partnership was a lesson about, it's about that. Because I feel for my cross watchers, this would not be the first time you've ended up in a situation like this. I feel in a lot of situations, not just romantic, but I mean jobs, friendships, what have you, of settling for less than you deserve by, suffering in silence, hoping that people change. So more or less, this reading ends on a rhetorical note of a question that I feel my cross watchers need to ask themselves, of why is it that it would be difficult for you to act how the Sagittarius person is? If you feel like this isn't serving my highest good, I'm putting all of the effort into this relationship. This relationship is very one-sided. I'm doing all of this for this person, but they're not reciprocating to me, or I feel like this person is holding me back a great deal. Why is it so difficult for the cross watcher to choose themselves? Why does one continuously choose other people over themselves? If that's making sense. And I hope and pray that that makes sense, cross watcher. Hello again, cross watchers. Welcome to your extended. This reading, it makes me very sad. It makes me very sad. Just the vibration, I'm pretty sure that you guys noticed that it just kind of brought my energy to a sad place, But I really think it's imperative, cross watcher, to seriously think about that. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of times, it's almost like giving people too many chances. And I know that the general consensus with stuff like this is people are like, oh, I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to give people an opportunity to change because I would want someone to do that for me. And it's like, I understand that, but you also have to think about the character of a person. Someone like you who's willing to sacrifice your needs for another person, if you somehow made a mistake or were blind to something and a person gave you another chance, you would appreciate it and you would take advantage of it. But kind of the vibe I'm getting from this Sag person, their character is vastly different than yours. So it's more or less projecting your good qualities onto a person whose character is vastly different than yours. You know what I mean? And it's more or less a need to be more discerning of who it is that you're dealing with, as opposed to, projecting your characteristics onto the other person. Man, I want to pull more cards from me. Oh, hey. I'm just pulling 3 more cards from you guys from YouTube. We have the High Priestess in the reverse, the 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 6 of Swords in the reverse. So what this is legit looking like, man, is this person making the decision to move forward. I don't think that they've even told you this yet. you know? And I think in a sense, we could look at this as like, say if you and this person weren't in communication and you're waiting for this person to come back around, it's like they already made the decision that they're moving forward and they just didn't tell you that, you know? It's like they just decided not to tell you that. My apologies. Y'all's video from YouTube just rendered and it's popping up. They just didn't tell you that. And the whole thing is here with this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse, it's like, I always look at this card like a codependency. It's valuing things outside of yourself more than yourself. So like other people. So it's more or less your decision on whether or not to move forward with this was never really contingent upon what you wanted. It's almost like you would choose to move forward because this person chose to not move forward with you. So it's almost like putting your power in another person's hands, where you're putting yourself in a position to where you're at the will of a situation, if that's making sense. So it's, you know, I'm not getting what I want and I shouldn't put up with this, but you know what I mean? But with this person, it's like, you know, I'm in this situation, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm moving forward. But then with the 6 of Swords in the reverse, it's this, in 2 ways, this person not changing, this energy not changing, and it's more or less you guys being stuck in your head and disappointed and feeling a sense of loss, right? Because of this person moving forward. But the thing I'm looking at with all of this is how my cross watcher is disempowering themselves to this person. Like this person has no qualms about moving forward, but even if they move forward, the cross watcher is still stuck after this person is gone, in the same way that you were stuck in the partnership. But again, I have to stress, I don't know why people are calling me so much right now. That's so annoying. I'm just going to start turning everything off because that is just too much going on. But it's more or less being stuck both ways. But I feel in the midst of all of this, the thing that's so imperative for my cross watchers to need to understand and need to see is, why is it difficult for you to approach your life the way that this Sagittarius person does? Because they're doing what's best for them. Why is it so difficult for you to not do what's best for you? This is too much. This reminds me of Aquarius's reading with all of these distractions like this. This is just too much going on. I'm literally going to start putting everything on like do not disturb. But that's really the question I feel one needs to ask themselves. And I think I might edit this into the end of the YouTube video. You know, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to pause it here and then I'm going to get into you guys' cards of how the person is thinking and feeling about you. But that has been your reading. I'm going over to Vimeo to do you guys extended, where I'm going to look at, Vimeo, my website, Patreon, and YouTube members to do you guys extended. And we're going to look at how the person thinks and feels about you at present to give you more clarity and additional information to weigh. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I still love your face and I will see you guys sooner than later. Hopefully sooner in the extended. Love your face.